Okay. And call meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Patel,
Here.
Taylor,
Here.
Crandall, here, Fitzgerald, here,
Here.
Baker.
Here. Please stand for the prayer. Let us pray, O Lord, that we in the public office may have your blessing and guidance in our deliberations and decisions, so that what we accomplish here this evening will be just and beneficial to the people who we serve. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody got their minutes? Adam?
I motion that we adopt the minutes from the February 23rd meeting as presented at this time. Second.
Second? Okay. Roll call, please.
Okay. All cleaned up. Patel,
Yes.
I need to copy them. Taylor,
Yep.
Crandall, Fitzgerald, here,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Any petitions or communications or anything? Okay. Reports of the officers. Mary didn't leave anything at all, as far as when I talked to him this afternoon, so turned it over to the village administrator, Bob.
Yeah, I just talked to DHJ about funding to do some preliminary analysis of core samples. It was kind of funny because the one individual was telling me, you know, he had a guy that would look at that and know the price is down from 7 to 17,000 and anywhere in that range to do something with this tank. And that Rocky goes, and I said, well, you know, I'd like to just do some analysis and you know, see if it's actually leaking or whatever else. He says, oh, we can provide you some money for that. So I'm waiting for Pat Rocky to get back to me and say we can take some test samples on that tank to see if it's actually been leaking or not. So if we find out it hasn't been leaking, I think that we can pretty much alleviate our problem. I know it'll still cost us to get that thing taken out or whatever we have to do, but we're not even positive it's leaking, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we don't even know. So I'm waiting for him to get back to me, but I was a little disappointed because I thought the other individual would have said that first, but that's okay. We'll see what we can do. That catch basin that caused the issue, we have repaired it. It's the south end. We continue to work on the fire hydrants. Two of those ones down there have been looked at. The one by the school, according to George, was working before, but I don't know, the pressure might have been off a little bit, I'm not sure. The one down by my brother's house that they tapped first is working now. The top nut was froze on it, so those are both working. And I told Wayne, you better get aggressive with looking at these fire hydrants. You know, we were in the news, it wasn't pretty, and we need to get started flushing these fire hydrants and making sure they're we may have to borrow additional money. I'm not sure. I just want to let you guys be aware of this project. You know, we're fighting with SET left and right, and they're hitting us with change orders because they're running into things when they're doing excavation. You know, my whole take on this is, you know, we're over 150 years old. You don't know what you might find in there. So I give Thrasher credit. You know, they've been beating them down also. But we have like $130,000 left in our contingency, and we're about 40% through the project. We started out with 230. So what I'm going to ask, maybe later on, I just got to see what we do in the next couple of weeks, is, maybe borrow $100,000 and have it sitting there. I don't think we'll have to use it. We may have to use $30,000 or $40,000 of it, but at least have it on hand so we don't stop construction or whatever else. And it's still at 0% interest, but I'm not real happy with this contractor at all. I told you that the last time. And like I said, I don't want them walking off the job either, because that would cause us even more trouble. But we're gonna scrutinize everything that comes across our desk. So I just want you to be aware of that. I wanted to give you the heads up.
Paul, do you have a completion date on that?
Well, it's probably not going to be. We were looking at probably June or July, but like I said, they're a little behind right now because they're running into a bunch of things. So I thought it was even going to be earlier than that. In May, we were looking at it, but I don't think that's going to happen. Must start prepping the pool. I know Jack will have some things to say about that. Of course, we are short on personnel at this point in time. March is here. I want to see what this mill is going to do now, and see if they're going to open back up. There's a lot of cars down there. We'll see what happens. And we don't know what we're going to do really yet. We're going to try to open the pool, of course. But we'll see. We'll see if we can find anybody in here to know any managers also. We're going to be advertising for pool managers up there. And it's a very difficult job, so if you're going to talk to anybody about it, just make sure they know what they're getting into. It's not easy. And plus, right now, if we have to limit the amount of people coming into that pool, it's going to get even worse. Because if Scoopville don't open, or Toronto don't open, or whatever else, they'll be coming down here. And we'll have our residents here, we'll have other people coming in, and it could get very ugly. It's going to take a strong person to run that pool. Or Willie's going to be up there. We might even have security up there quite a bit. Willie, we may even put a person up there because you just never know. So, anybody asks you what's going on? This is a storm sewer separation that is going on. The majority of it will go to St. Clair Avenue, and then after they're done with that, we will do a little bit on Ravine. But the last area that they will go to will be 5 Points, okay, North Hill, and then they will be done up there, okay, so.
I have a lot of people now that they want to Claire. Are they going to, fix all the roads when they're done?
They're going to fix what they tore up. Okay, what I was trying to get them to do was actually redo the road, but that's not in the scope of the project. What they will do is they will take the trenches and stuff, and they will fix all the trenches. We actually tried to have them, instead of putting the 9-inch cap with the cement and all this over it, we tried to actually talk them into, putting some stone down and resurfacing that, and asphalting it. There was not let's put it this way, it was more expensive to do it that way. I'd love to get the roads just redone, actually, but
Sidewalks.
now, the sidewalks, I told the contractor after you called me, I said, you make sure that you take pictures of all these sidewalks, because there's sidewalks in the scope of work that will be repaired.
Right.
Okay?
Somewhere in bad shape,
Yeah.
there's some spot.
And that's what I told him also. I said, you better document this, because if they were in bad shape before, what do we expect? Now, if we crumble them up, I think that they need to fix portions of that.
Right.
But, I told him, I said, you better be documenting this, that's all I have to say.
Right.
Because if we come back and we got a bunch of sidewalks that are just not even walkable because they run their heavy equipment over, even though they may have been not the greatest at the beginning, they damaged them. They need to repair them, So, I put the work to it, we'll see what happens, and I will remind him again also.
How far did they go on Peter, all the way?
Oh, well, they went, I don't know how far down they went. They came up Peeler, and then they're going to go Murdoch, east and west. And then we put in a permit to close East Murdoch for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Now, I think we're only going to need one day. We only have 130 feet to go south, on Murdoch. So if we could get that done real quick and run into no problems, that should be done in one day, and then they can actually open up the ramp again, and then you can navigate around Peeler and come back, you know, do that, so. But we put in for 3 days just to be safe, so, just to let you know. We have 840 meters installed. You know, of course, with COVID, we haven't, you know, really gained on that. We are going to get very aggressive here on turning off water. Get ready for your phones to ring. We are going to get very, very aggressive. I instructed the folks, we're not going to take CAC money unless they give us CAC money and the owner pays the whole bill. We cannot make any deals anymore. The deals are over. We've tried, and you know, and I hate to give money back to the CAC, I really do. But you know, when people renege on their deals and they constantly do this, we're just sitting there spinning our wheels. So get ready for your phones to ring, folks. That's all I can tell you. And just you know, you tell them they got to talk to Wayne or me or whatever. Do not engage. Do not engage. You know, I'm a softie. I tried to do everything I could when I first got here, and it didn't work. I'll be honest with you. It just didn't work. I mean, people were just nasty, and I'm just stupid. Because you know, you hear the people, the kids crying and this and that, and you try to take care of these folks, and they turn around and they stab you right in the back and not pay. So just get ready. That's all I'm telling you. Willie, you get ready in the water office, because like I said, you know, people. Not the old Mingo like we grew up in, where people were cordial and halfway decent. You're going to have some real winners come down there and, you know, demand to have their water on and say, you know, this is wrong, this whatever. I just asked them, you know, when I called Comcast and asked them if I could pay $30 and they keep my cable, and they told me no. I said, why? I said, just give me 20 channels then. So, you know, I mean, this is what people think though. I mean, they think that this is not a utility, it's a utility.
There's a misconception, and I think this is where people think if they make any payment, then you can't turn them on. And that's absolutely not true. If they're delinquent, you go through your notices and turn them off. You know, if they make a payment, that doesn't clear them from being shut off.
Nope.
I still take the payment, put the money in the bank.
Well, that's what people do on the outside with that box. See, they just throw the payment in there and then we take it. And I've even directed the niece, we'll take that payment. We'll take it, we'll put it against their bill. But I mean, if somebody comes, I don't know, when somebody comes in there and slides $20 and I was just telling her to slide it back over to them.
See, I think you should just take the money and just follow through.
Well, what she's going to have to tell them though is this, okay, I'm taking your payment and we're still shutting your water off. And what's going to happen then? And I don't want her to have to put up with that.
Well, I'd like to see money. Well, she made the same argument as she gives them the money back, so, you know, you might as well get the money. That's the way I look at it.
You're not gonna be able to take everybody down, like say if somebody.
Oh, yeah, if they put it in the box, we're just gonna take it and use it. But maybe I'll just tell her to take it then.
I think what I would do is I would take it, but I wouldn't stop the shut off.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Process, yeah, still put it on her door and $20, but, you know.
I'll tell her to take it, maybe she don't even have to say a word to them. You know,
Yeah.
they'll just do the shut off on their door, and like I said, we're giving them 10 days, and then we're gonna go to 24-hour, and then we're shutting it off. That's it. I mean, you know, we have a lot of people out there with a lot of money. So, just, like I said, council, please don't engage. I mean, just send them to us. So you just get yourself in a mess, honestly. You really will.
And it's your personal number.
Yeah.
Personal stuff.
Here's my silver Carolina.
What can I drink?
157, Sycamore, 1313 Mockingbird. All right, go
All
ahead.
right, Bob, thanks.
Yeah, just one more thing. You guys got this, and Jody, I took a picture of what you guys wanted. I reworded it a little bit on the bottom, and I want our solicitor to take a look at it and see how legal it is, and maybe we can adopt it into policy real soon. Yes.
It looks fairly good. I would at least, before I put anything informally out, wait and see what Congress passes this week, because
Oh, yeah.
nobody knows what's in that anyway.
Well, like I said, you know, we even saying there that if, you know, if we get the funding,
Yeah, that we will reimburse that, but one thing that I think that I forgot to put in there, our committee does not have a problem with them going into the mines.
oh, okay.
You know, if they have vacation hours available, there's no problem with them going on.
Okay, I can include this somewhere, I'll find a place where to put it, so they can actually, negative leave.
Yeah, we just don't want paying our employees with no money.
Hey, I'm with you on this,
And I still
Yes.
feel really bad about Brandon's part-time fire department.
Well, like I said, if we get this, and we got to be very careful how we word this, because,
And
you
you
know,
know, I think the other thing you might want to do.
I see you, Jack, I'll get you.
You might want to make a distinction, because when you say up to 2 weeks, if somebody is contract COVID, doesn't mean they're ready to make work in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but this is all we can pay.
That's all you can pay, that's all you can pay under the CARES Act.
Yeah, okay.
If they have 2 months of sick leave, they'll have an offer for 2 months. And what it is, you make a distinction too, that if they have not tested positive, but are quarantined, then the 2 weeks would kick in regardless. Because in 2 weeks, you're going to get a test and get a result.
Is it even 2 weeks anymore?
No, it's usually like 3 days or something.
There's something here about quarantine if they weren't positive. Maybe I'll take a look at that, because I thought I had something in here. Okay. Feel free to jot something down on that if you want to, Ernie.
Yeah.
Number 2 had talked about quarantine.
Yeah, but it says positive, testing positive.
Yeah.
Somebody that comes in contact with somebody and they don't test positive, but goes into quarantine. I don't know if we cover that really here anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They just want to say that they're covered until they're covered.
Well, I do give an
Until they
example.
receive the test results.
I do give an example, individuals exposed by asymptomatic but deemed essential personnel.
That doesn't mean,
I know,
you know, asymptomatic doesn't mean
yeah.
you're negative.
Jack?
Well, I get that question, how you answer or not. On this shelf, on this water shelf, who's responsible from where to where, from the house to where? I'm talking about the curb box.
Who's responsible to the curb box?
Who's responsible for the curb box? Us or the people over there?
I think we're responsible. I think we're responsible for the curb box. What do you mean by responsible?
If they don't have a house, Mark, if they don't have a curb
Go back to
box,
the house?
Wait, hold on, sir. What's that?
if they don't have a curb box on, just shut off.
You can put one in and
You
build
put one in.
I'm saying, do we dig it up, do we put it in, or do we build it up? That's what I'm saying.
You put it in and build them for your cost.
You can build them for the cost to do that?
Yeah. There may need to be a provision, and the ordinance is tells you how much you can build, which is probably, how much you can build, is probably too low.
Because I know on, my brother-in-law's house in the alley there, everybody runs to the alley. Warren runs this way, George runs this way, up into that little alley. I don't know how you gonna shut people off in that alley, they're buried probably, or they're not even there.
Well, we're running into that problem, I guess. We'll have to,
Yeah, I'm just asking.
we'll have to see what we have to do.
Huh?
Well, a lot of these people have buried them. A lot of these people, you know,
It's
have
over
buried.
dirt.
Yeah. Well, some of them put like animal feces on it, and then somebody actually, I think, poured some concrete on one of them, so we couldn't get to it.
Okay, thanks, Clark.
No, thanks.
Okay, anybody else for the administrator? Okay, Jim, you got anything?
One thing,
Oh, okay.
on that number 5, employee must show proof of a positive test and a negative result.
Yeah.
Can you specify whether that's type of test or a negative result? Sometimes with PCR tests, they detect sort of live and dead viruses, the virus, live and dead. And so, if
Sign all this, Jack.
there could still be dead virus that is detected and would still come up. And that could come up for a while, but
I don't understand what you want to put there. What do you want to put there for?
yeah, we can leave it. I mean, hopefully we won't even run into any situation, but there's a small chance we could, but.
Now, the only thing I think I'd add to that sentence, we must show proof of positive test, is a subsequent negative result in order to return to work. I specify that they can't come back to work without that negative test.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? All right, Jim, you have anything?
No, yeah, I think words would probably want to wait till some of the words do.
All right. We don't have a treasurer. Okay. Chief of the police, you have anything?
No, sir, I don't have anything to that.
Okay. All quiet? I don't know, I see them start flying down in the morning, down to Georgia front.
I wouldn't say too quiet, but we got them all up the street.
I have a question for you. A couple weeks ago, going up Morrow Hill, onto the right of that Green Color house, and I don't know if this is true because we never heard anything about it, where a young man had come in through their backyard and was standing on their back porch trying to get in, and the man pulled it line and told him not to move and called. Did that happen? How come did that happen?
Intoxicated male, he entered the residence, well, he tried to enter the residence. And was met by the female owner of the residence, and she told him to leave the residence, and her husband came out and did fire a shot.
Okay, because my neighbors were like panicking, they're going, you know, I didn't even hear about it, I don't know. But yeah, but it did happen, and, okay, and everything was good. Was it from the jail, or did you just come up and you were?
No, he was trying to do it.
Where did it come? Okay, it's out part of the second grade, you know? Okay, and I just thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, anybody else for the chief? Okay. Brandon? Fire?
We're the one that puts all put on the same time, right? Usually we do.
I
It's
just,
just not a final.
we can use pistol, I use bullets.
Trade warranty.
What,
I would always do 10 color 10 on you. So we got
is it a resolution? Most people do just, I mean, most things they do is just go step it.
Right.
Here,
Always go from.
here, do mine.
I have
You
one
give me yours.
pencil.
Yes, I did. You said repeat it. I appreciate it.
The only thing really, I have a couple things, inspections, we're not full board on inspections. You know, usually we get 50% compliance, but like I said, 50% of buildings are pretty in court, people live in Vegas, people live way out of the area, people buy properties online, so it is a very strenuous process. I know I went back to Ray Hall, talked to Ray Hall, inspection stuff, you know, it's been years, a lot of buildings downtown, stuff like that. So I talked to Bob a little bit and kind of maybe a judge or so can kind of give some answers on.
Well, we're gonna have with the Regional Planning Commission, Merle came in there, and we're gonna try to get at least judges that will understand the law a little bit more, and maybe handouts a little more fines or whatever else instead of a slap on the wrist. I think Judge Burgess is gonna be there, our solicitor, Ernie. I'm taking him.
Really need a county court judge. You need a county court judge.
Yeah. Well, I just know Burgess, I'm pretty sure Burgess is gonna be there to talk.
Ednar and Scarpone.
I guess I heard him say Burgess, so I think that's all I know.
A lot of those cases, people that won't get to that court, they end up in county court. That's why it would be good, you know, they try to make a point to get the county court judges. And probably get on Nashville too.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna talk about it, put it that way. I think everybody faces the same problem with these buildings.
I know the land bank's taking 2 houses down.
Yeah, we got 3 of them. I failed to tell you guys, though, we got 3 houses that are taken down. We're gonna be taken down. So that's a good sign.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two on St. Clair listed.
Since the other one's on Murdoch.
Where's you?
Two St. Clair and 1 Murdoch. I'm trying to get him, put a couple more on there.
Yeah.
With the mill, I guess the positive things are, I started to receive all their tier 2 reports, all their hazardous materials, stuff they had in the mill. So all that's now being sent to my email the past couple of weeks, so that's probably a good sign here. We got some grant money. We did a 40-hour hazmat class, tech class. You know, I had over 17 hazmat techs on the department. That was done by Cleveland State. We did a rail car class, just because the railroad over there, University of Pennsylvania Committee. Also got a full compliance pace awareness policy and tech level class, which we're going to have sometime in April by Cleveland University. One is going to be used for water plants, before they have for roads and compliance pace down there.
I think they used it before.
Just want to double check. Last two things,
Talk to Wayne though, just to make sure. I think they've used it before. Yeah.
Two things. One is maybe if I could use some capital improvement money to replace the cameras in the firehouse and outside our firehouse. We've gone through 2 camera systems in the past probably 4 or 5 years. I know I get subpoenas and stuff like that all the time for cases and stuff like that. People come to the police department, people come to the firehouse. I get requests for audio and video feeds and stuff like that. I have 2 cameras now that shut off. All we are is Walmart, little home security systems. I'm asking, I had Tri-State come in to do our swipers and all that. I'm asking, get some money out of capital improvement to get the cameras taken care of in the firehouse. I'm just going to call the Tri-State and have them down.
You know what often see what comes in as COVID package?
I noticed, I talked earlier today, I know the COVID packages this time around was a lot more strict. I couldn't get cameras on the last one. So if I didn't get it on the last
Did you get cameras on the last one? Why not?
Who understands?
Wait, I mean, did we deny you these cameras? Or somebody, who told you you couldn't get them?
Because it's what considered security, it's not pertaining to COVID. So then again, I got the keyless entry, they considered it keyless.
That's security.
Yeah, they were in this keyless entry.
We'll have keyless cameras.
What was those cameras?
I know.
I just know the fire department got a lot of money, you know, and I got cut.
I didn't ask for any capital improvement this year.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, that's true.
I was just going to call Tri-State and have him come down. I know Bruce was Tri-State, and I know personally Paul Artemis, so I know they go to him, so I'll quote for next meeting. The last thing is, like I said, about the new ambulance. The second ambulance is going to start nickel and diming me. Her schedule's much pushed to going in first, we like to work half the time. Truck's over 20 years old. I would really like to get the ambulance back in order by at least by the summer. You know, we're probably about a year out anyway, so everything's going up. Chassis, the block, everything's going up. So, and that's something that we can entertain and start get moving on that.
Is that it, Brandon? Anybody got anything else?
Yeah,
Mark?
I got stuff right now.
So on.
Elmer Street, that house up there, haven't we ready that place up?
Well, yeah, it's fair enough.
Do you want to talk about it? Like the first second on the left, on that?
And the one on the right is going to get it too, so.
On this, like,
It's terrible.
Scott Avenue, when you go up Morris Hill, that third or fourth house in, and
That got it,
Yeah.
5 points, when you go up past 5 points, about the end of Western, all those tires got it.
What's the address of that one, Eleanor? Anybody know?
Jump out there?
Yeah.
Stoltz's old house is 100, and that's right next door, so.
Yeah.
Is it 102 or is it? 98?
Right, good question. I don't know. What's one of the others?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah, no.
number?
Meeting might have a call out, yeah.
Lonnie's across the street is 103.
Long's 103, so.
That's got 102 down.
102, you need the number, it's 100, and then 102.
Maybe cars cost 104.
Our top was 104.
Well, you guys-
Between 100 and 104, so it's 102.
I thought you guys cited him, but you don't remember what?
I didn't personally cite it, you had to inspect it.
Could be 102.
I don't know.
What do we do with the fire truck down the water department in our garage?
I like to get rid of that.
I mean, it's just sitting there, I mean, we could put our equipment in, I mean, we're not, I didn't know if it was a backup truck.
It's
or
supposed to be used in the backup truck as a reserve, used for ice ratings. reduced excavating, as a secondary truck. But the pumps and stuff haven't been tested on in the past several years.
So get rid of it?
Good.
I just want to bring down it for years.
Do you have anything else for auction? You have like a,
I don't know. We'll have a couple trucks.
Ambulance and a truck.
Maybe it is,
open bid, like an open air auction? I assume we'll let that be done, a lot of our cruisers and things like that, we're going to go in the garage. Take a lot of time to get more money.
Get more people.
You get more people and sometimes you get more money.
We had to
see if you bid it up, but.
anything else, I mean, I said, anything else, do we want to entertain looking at anyone ordered or?
Curtis Gaggers. You're the money man. I was talking to you. You didn't interest me.
I didn't, my understanding, the loan was taken out initially, was kind of just to get the first one, and I didn't know what we could do, or go back to Stains of Brad again. I mean, we
Hey,
were,
Brandon, that?
what's that?
You know?
Anybody else got anything else for the guy?
He's talking to Jaggers. Yeah, I'll see one on it. How long does it take from the time you order to the time it gets here?
Good year, I mean, what I've got is about 30 days, so we're gonna start, actually tomorrow night. Probably, I'm not, with that.
It takes a year to get it.
From the time you get one ordered, you're roughly 6 to a year span wise, especially with COVID, everybody ordering.
We won't call bells and whistles and everything like we did last time. We went.
Oh, because last time, they just like, go on one, didn't right now.
Yeah, like you said, done, had this, that, had everything.
There was 200,000.
You're looking about that, I mean, after you do one cost, that's not really fancy stuff on it, so you're about 200,000, 250 in that range, that's where the ambulance now.
Is that looking at any ambulance using it out, and if we put the new ones, we don't have to order more of that?
So all that just gets transferred over.
Because I know that one new ambulance, they have to buy all the shit.
They just bought.
Today is about.
Well, that's what the air's running up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
Well, that's like 2 or 3 with the air's running up.
Yeah.
They would have to have them.
Some new stuff.
Yes, all stuff.
Of course.
When you go to that Jackson, start looking at.
Yeah. It's crazy the prices. I just told Adam, I'll call Carter and Paul tomorrow, just see what they got involved in there. Maybe he can give me a write-out sheet of everything that's there, and you can compare it.
I know they went with, they had real small ambulances, just because their streets, they went with real small ambulances. Just because of the streets now.
Is that less up inside than they need, or what?
The box, the box itself, we have the biggest box, city of Chedworth.
Can you find out from the courthouse if we can start? We got that money collected earlier. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, we don't take it alone now, you know. No, but we can at least get started on the.
Well, you know, I mean, you know what, if you can determine what the levy rate is, I think there's at least one more year.
On it?
Still on it, yeah, because it wasn't it 4 years, I think?
Yeah, I think we got 2 left, don't we? 2?
I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. You might have, what you probably have is 1 year left on levy, which gives you 2 years to go, which you'll collect. But you'd have to verify that.
I'll start working on it.
What are you laughing at? You're the guy that kept it going.
Sorry, woke you up.
Hal, you may as well get up here since Dwayne's not here. You got 30 seconds, hurry up.
Too much paperwork.
Go ahead. You got stuff to pass out?
I don't know if my budget is done or not. We had if nobody knows, we had a oil got in our collection system, and in order to clean it up, it cost about $21,000. So if the budget's not done, maybe we can take care of that stuff.
I think we have it in there. I think we'll be okay.
These are all the pictures of what happened with the oil spill, and these are the reports that the EPA got that I was asked to do, and I do anyway, for day-to-day what happened with the oil spill.
How would you spend the 21,000 that's coming out to do what?
Is to clean up the oil spill.
Where's the oil coming from?
It came from Conrail Rail Yard.
Well, how come we're paying for it then?
Because our system backed up and flooded their oil separator, and when we unplugged our system, it came back to us.
Should they have some sort of backflow prevention or something?
And when they originally got their permit, 30 years ago, they were required to have a backflow permit, backflow in their permit.
Has anything changed?
They assured me that they will install one now.
Well, that's great for right now, but how does that help us out? I know SPSI came down and did a lot of cleanup. Are we having to pay for that?
No,
Okay.
the rail yard took care of everything that they.
And I have pictures on my phone too, if you want to see them.
Copy, can you get a copy of that for, I got it.
So, what I wanted to explain was, our main backed up, and we attempted to unplug it. And in the process of it getting backed up, it went into the rail yard, into an oil separator, and flooded the oil separator. When we attempted to unplug our main, we temporarily unplugged it for about 20 minutes. When it unplugged, the oil separator in the rail yard drained into our system. But luckily, we plugged up again, and it was contained within Patty's Diner in the rail yard. So we did not unplug, that's when everybody was deployed to get rid of all this oil. It took about a week, 5 crack tanks, 4 pumps, a bypass, to get rid of all the oil that we could before we unplugged the main. When we did unplug the main, and the bypass was running, I got about 20 gallons in my plant. And these pictures will show you how 20 gallons destroyed the wastewater plant.
That's what those guys were doing down there at the entrance going into the railroad?
Yes, sir. So, I had to get the EPA involved, and we deployed booms and everything down Cross Creek. And I'm happy to say, no oil entered Cross Creek. We had some of the price for us to contain was to clean my plant up to get it back into permit and function. And the report that I gave you is a day-by-day, blow-by-blow of everything that happened. And I'm sorry that I think I spelled super sucker wrong. At the beginning, I put supper. But
You were hungry.
yeah. I need one to do it. But I just want everybody to know that John Law and Lou did over and above. We had a lot of overtime, but we had to clean the plant and everything else and contain it as quick as possible. And they did a fantastic job down there.
Was it inside the plant, like in the building itself, or?
It came in the flow and hit every tank I had. We deployed booms before we even unplugged anything, in the creek, in the plant, everywhere that it could collect the sheen. And then when we unplugged, it came in. And we started dealing with everything in the plant. It was a half a mile of stores that we had to clean. And what happened, in my opinion, was the manhole that was plugged was because the county lift station dumped into that manhole. The county lift station does not have any kind of shredders or anything to tear anything up. When the super sucker company ran 1,000 foot of hose and pulled the line clean, I call it a hairball. A hairball came out of the pipe, it was an 8-inch pipe. It came out the size of the pipe, swelled to twice its size, and it was 4 feet long when it finally came out of the pipe. I've learned now that cleaning downtown is a twice-a-year maintenance have to do. Also, I just learned that this line that plugged is also on that list. To make sure that, because everything from the south end of town is in that main. Our equipment could not keep up with the flow. That's why that outside company bypassed a half a mile down the railroad track and into my plant because the flow, we couldn't get it to stop. And with their help, we were able to get down in and get the plug out. This is a little over and above. It's never happened to the wastewater plant before.
Anybody got anything for Cal?
Yeah, I just want to say, did a good job documenting all this to cover our asses in case, things got kind of worse than it did. I went down and I checked everything out, with your plant and everything, and I just think that you guys did a good job containing that oil. Because once we get into the waterways, we got a problem. And getting that shit out of there, or stuff out of there, had to be because it was killing our bugs up on top of our ditches. It's a slow process thing, you guys, I was watching it, and now we're in holding tanks. It takes, what, 5 days for the water evaporates from the oil, and then he's got to drain the water, and then they'll take the oil out here. So, it's a big project on it, but like I said, I worked on it before, and we never had oil or anything like that come through that plant. And I just want to say good job, Cal.
I want to go too, and I think you guys did a great job.
The EPA.
No, you guys both are the beginning, you did a great job.
The EPA, I called the spill hotline, and the EPA sent a specialist in to evaluate the plant to make sure how much bug life was going in the plant. And the preliminary report that I have said everything was okay, so the EPA recommended that I get the oil out of the plant as soon as possible. That's why we work Saturday and Sunday, to get it all out of there before my whole plant turns bad. And I'm happy to say that from everything, we're back online, everything is good to go. The plant's back to normal operation, and I do believe we saved the plant. The last thing I wanted to point out, with the budget, I had Kim print me off the 2020 revenue for the wastewater plant. There's estimated revenue and there's the year-to-date revenue. 2019, my revenue was $502,000 some dollars. Last year's revenue was $549,000, which means we've increased revenue again at the wastewater plant by $47,405. 2 years ago, I increased revenue $100,000. It's still there, plus now we got another $47,000 on top of it. Septic haulers, all that kind of stuff.
That's just all the maintenance and all the upgrades and everything that's been done down there that's helping with that?
Yes. Fine tuning the plant, taking in more septic haulers. Making sure people pay the bills.
There you go.
Well, that push that I understand.
That's a big-
It's just short revenue is dependent on your water.
Yeah. And that's a big part of it.
So the more water fish you use, obviously the more store revenue you can get.
But I can also say that our chemical usage, back before I started, the barrel bisulfite would last 4 days. Now I'm getting 10 and 14 days out of barrel bisulfite. We put a new chlorine system in. Now it only uses what it has to instead of running wild. And we're, what is it, $90 a bottle? We're down, on the average, it only takes one bottle every 42 days. Instead of running. So there's significant cost that's been cut in the plant too.
I have a question. Now that you did all this and everything is cleaned up, is there any, hopefully not, because this could happen again? I mean, you're talking about that, the store that you had to go down there, is that all cleared out where everything's okay now, where you won't have to have that problem again?
It's all washed in the plant, the pipes been cleaned and everything, and I see no signs of any oil coming in anymore. And the railroad, the ETA, the railroad engineer that takes care of their environmental stuff, he guaranteed me that they would put a backflow preventer in. So our system will never go back into that.
Is there a time code for that?
No.
I would ask him for a time code, because we don't want this to happen again.
And I look at this, you guys did do a great job on your numbers. That's a lot of work.
Where was this picture taken at?
That's our outfall down to Marina.
That's the F1.
We deployed all that stuff before we even tried to remove the oil. That was put in case oil did come in the plant. That was the last line of defense before it hit the creek.
So did it actually hit the creek?
No,
Okay.
no.
I didn't want to get blindsided by the county EMA giving you a call.
We put those booms all the way through the plant, in every tank and every department that we had, to start gathering this stuff up before we unplugged, if any oil was to come to us. We had it all in place before we unplugged it, and it did come in, and we had the stuff in place to start getting the shade and keeping it going. And we changed those every day for a week and a half. That company that helped the railroad gave us all of it, and they're not cheap. They supplied 2 super pumps and ran the bypass from the rail yard all the way down into my plant for me. When we tried to get the flow down low, that company brought their equipment over, super suckers and everything else, and assisted our equipment to try to help. They did a fantastic job of what they did.
Let me make sure I get a name of somebody so I can write them a letter.
It's on the millimeter tape. Drew is the owner on this one here. Everybody changed listed and who they are, what their positions were, who did what.
Okay.
Got a question for you. You said this problem all started from the county pump?
I think so.
So do we maintain that, we clean that, or what?
No,
Who does?
it's the county's responsibility. We get paid, there's a meter down there, and they pay us for whatever they discharge into our system. And that's our responsibility, is them paying us.
And that meter ain't working right either.
The meter has to
So we're
work
losing money.
for a couple months.
Was that the new meter?
Have you guys contacted them
Yeah,
about it?
Mr. Ruckman on that.
Okay.
Was that the new meter that we just bought?
That's the-
No, this is county stuff. That's
Yeah,
all.
but I mean, they put a new meter in there, didn't they? Or did we put
Yeah,
a new meter in?
half of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty new, right?
Went on the fritz, and they've never, and Mr. Ruckman's been trying to get them to get it running.
So what's our billing been like? Has it been consistent with what you normally bring in from them, or have we
We're
lowered?
using the numbers from last year, and they're prorated.
Oh, they're prorating the number
Yeah.
for us. Oh, well, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's what they're doing.
That's what Ruckman's doing, prorated.
So he needs to really do something or let me get involved.
Shut the one lane down.
Every month I go down to read that meter, and I turn in the billing on that meter, and the meter has been stuck on the same number for about 5 months.
Yeah, then people should have been working on it. I did not know. Okay. Thanks.
All right.
You guys did a good job. Thank you very much.
Cal.
You guys got you.
Great job. Okay. Jack, you have anything to finance besides the adoptions here? You got anything else to say? Okay, ordinances. Adam, you're up, buddy.
We have 2 that were been provided with tonight. Ordinance 2021-2. It's an ordinance to appropriate funds for current expenditures of the Village of Mingo during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021, and declaring an emergency. You got it.
Well, you need a motion to suspend.
Right.
Debbie Lynn?
I move that a rule requiring the ordinance or resolution to be read by title only on three separate occasions be dispensed with, and the ordinance or resolution number 2021-2 be given its second and third reading at this time by title only and placed before its council for its final passage or rejection.
Second.
Okay, Baker,
Yes.
Bertel,
Yes.
Peeler,
Yes.
Tremblay, Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
All right. Ordinance 2021-2, an ordinance to appropriate funds for current expenditures of the Village of Mingo Junction during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021, and declaring an emergency. Ordinance 2021-2, an ordinance to appropriate funds for current expenditures of the Village of Mingo Junction during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021, and declaring an emergency.
I move that ordinance number 2021-2 be adopted this time.
I second.
Roll call?
Peeler,
Yes.
Tremblay, Fitzgerald, Herrick,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bertel.
Yes.
Next one is, for tonight, is ordinance 2021-3. It's an ordinance approving the solid waste management plan of the Jefferson Belmont Regional Solid Waste Authority. Do we need to suspend, or are we okay? Okay, we need that done.
Debbie Lynn?
I move that a rule requiring the ordinance or resolution to be read by title only on three separate occasions be dispensed with, and ordinance or resolution number 2021-3 be given its second and third reading at this time by title only and placed before the council for its final passage or rejection.
We're not going to shut
Second.
that off. I'm not going to turn this back on.
Tremblay, Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bertel,
Yes.
Peeler.
Yes. Ordinance 2021-3, an ordinance approving the solid waste management plan of the Jefferson Belmont Regional Solid Waste Authority. Ordinance 2021-3, an ordinance approving the solid waste management plan of the Jefferson Belmont Regional Solid Waste Authority.
I make a motion that 2021-3 be adopted this time.
Second.
Debbie Lynn, second.
Okay. Fitzgerald,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bertel, Peeler,
Yes.
Tremblay.
Yes.
That's all for tonight.
Brandon?
One thing, I just got a phone call, we had an accident. A moving truck was trying to go underneath the underpass, got stuck, damaged the rail bridge. I told them the road's going to be completely shut down underneath there until further notice, until the railroad comes and inspects that. They wanted to maybe do one lane, I told them no. Because you had a car come through there, another car coming through there, and the rest of them go. So the underpass going South Commercial was completely shut down.
Is he still down there?
They just removed the vehicle, but I'm shut, they know the vehicle's not there, the road's shut down.
I suggest you call Channel 9 now so they can put on the news.
Is it the top half or the bottom half?
They shut it back down.
I know, I was just wondering.
They was going south.
Down the bottom side.
Yeah.
You have a contractor.
Yeah.
Or text or-
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, Adam?
That's all for tonight.
Okay. Safety, that's me. It seems to me with the Eleanor Street, I've been going up and down Eleanor Street. It seems to me I've seen more cars in driveways, and I didn't see any cars across from each other being parked, and there were very few cars that were left on the street. So, you
What
know,
time are you going up there? What time are you going up there?
I went up twice today. Once early in the morning, traffic goes for school, and then about 2:30 coming down. And it seemed to me like, you know, people
I think the residents understand that we're thinking about changing things, they don't want to change, they're trying to work with us, I think.
I tell you what,
I think I
the
know
cars in the
people
driveway.
parking closer to the curb. Some of them used to just pull up, they'd be halfway in the lane and just stop and go to their house. But
I think there
they're
were
really trying to get over
three
to the
on
curb.
Joey Sagan's side the whole way,
Probably one time.
and maybe one on the other side, and that was it. So, you know, you're right, they're probably heeding the,
I will say that Adam came up with an idea.
Last
in
time,
the
Joe,
last
when
meeting,
Sagan was here last meeting, and
And I liked it, and that was putting a four-way stop there. You know, everybody's complaining how they're speeding on that road, and if you have a four-way
Well,
stop.
the only reason you're speeding is because it's such a long runway. You know what I mean? You get going and you go in
Yeah.
either direction. I mean, it's not an ideal solution to break that road up and make a four-way stop right there by like Johnny's house, you know, where it comes up.
oh, okay.
All that right there. But that would stop cars coming up, stop cars going down, then you gotta start again, you know what I mean, before you
So
crest over that
slow
hill.
them down.
It's not ideal, but
Oh, all right.
You would slow down. Definitely slow down.
How did the rest of the council feel about that? Mark?
I kind of like the idea. I think it's better than running down there and knocking all the cars off to one side. The residents are already showing they're trying to work with council. So I kind of like his idea. I think we didn't have to get two stop signs, there's two there already.
yeah, you got two coming up this way.
We don't even
Yeah.
have to get two. We might even have them up Service Garage. You have to talk to our foreman Timmy up at Service Garage, see if he has two stop signs. We could try.
Anytime you have a
Jack, okay with you?
stop signs, I don't care, Mike, whatever you guys want to do.
Young lady, how about you?
I think it's great. I told them that last week.
I could talk to some of the residents and see what they think about that idea. I mean, they understand we're looking at this topic and we're just trying to, you know,
From a safety aspect.
yeah, from a safety standpoint. And just see what they think of that idea. I know if cars get backed up coming up, you know what I mean, if there's a lot of cars at that stop sign, then I mean, that's not gonna be ideal either unless we almost, you know, yellow curb so many feet of the curb approaching that, you know, where that intersection is. So at least you don't have cars right on the side, cars on that side, then you got cars backed up. You know, it might just even make more congestion than before.
Definitely have to yellow curb, like you said.
Yeah.
Especially by Hermes DeCarlo's house right there. The other ones, we ain't gonna have to worry. So there's enough room on each side of the street. But where Hermes DeCarlo's front of his house is up there, Mazik owns it now. That's pretty close, and that gentleman always parks his on that road right
Yeah.
there. So we got to run that yellow.
And
I
some of
never ever
those people
seen
have that one driveway and it's narrow, they can only get one car.
And I only see Mazik, I hardly ever see Mazik park a car in front of his house ever since
He's got that big driveway. He's usually
Yeah.
in the driveway or near, or, yeah. he's
So we
usually down
definitely
there.
got to yellow curb that, Coach, if we did.
And it'd be an idea to talk to some of the residents about, you know, if anyone knows anybody up there, to see what they think about that, you know, because that was Joe's big concern. Oh, we do that to slow everybody down. It's like, well, you know, that's not an ideal solution to speeding, you know, just blocking the road and parking all willy-nilly all over the place, but
If you put everybody on one side, it'd be a lot easier for snow removal.
Just remember these other places, and when they start doing this also.
I kind of agree with Bobby.
You wait till long, we start, and everybody
Oh, yeah,
else does it. Okay, just, you open up a can of worms here a little bit.
I kind of agree.
that's what I hear that as well, you know, although it needs to be nipped in the bud right, as soon as it happens, because there's a lot of new people moving in to Mingo, a lot of different
But how do you make
neighborhoods.
them do it and not anybody else?
What do you mean?
What are you gonna nip in the bud if they start doing it on Longview?
We enforce
If they start putting them on both sides of the road?
we
Well,
enforce the
there's no
sign.
parking, there's
No
no
parking
parking
on side.
side.
No parking
all along there?
And we want to put up more signage
Yeah.
on the side of that group home,
Where the
What
group
if-
home
all the
is,
way down,
parking
all the way
around.
to,
So we do it to that road, but we don't do it to the other roads, though, right?
Well, the Longview,
We put all-
I'd be for it, I don't mind either way. Hey,
The
I'm just trying to-
Longview,
Well, the only reason I say, you know, you got a driveway, use it, you know, and here's the thing, you know, I knew Ethan was gonna get pushed back from this no matter what. And he has a half valid point, you know, we have a new school up there and whatever else. But I'm telling you, it can get pretty crowded through that place. I'm just gonna tell you. The stop signs, you know, we might try that, but I'm gonna tell you, you might be backing people up there on them stop signs. You really might. But, you know, I'm willing to look at anything, but we gotta be, you know, we gotta be consistent throughout our town. I don't know, like, well, I guess, whatever you guys want to do, it's your decision.
Well, that Longview already got a sign there. It's an old one, but
Well, there used to be signs all the way up there,
That's
guys.
right.
There's be signs on Elm. Yeah, there used to be signs on Elm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Worse than that sign,
Yeah.
all the way up.
well, Longview there, it's getting bad on the turns. Them
Yes,
people.
well, that's a new guy that moved in there,
Both of
and
them,
he,
you're right.
really, we can't have that thing parked there. I mean, it just can't be parked, and then where that house is, or the medical house, or whatever it is.
All three of them houses right there, they've been parked in the front.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's just, Willie, if you
gotta
look
be
and
kinda
keep one
consistent
close side of
with
that
this.
area up there, and, I mean.
That's all I'm asking, just be consistent with it, that's all.
Is that just one side, going down?
Longview, yeah.
That's when that Corey Ashworth came down, remember, he's got a little kid, he asked us to
Yeah,
stop parking on one side.
so I'm just, like I said, I know when I go down in the morning, Satch, I don't know what time you go down in the morning, but when I go down in the morning, I've pulled over twice at least, for cars coming out. But like I said, it's you guys' decision. I think you put the stop signs up, you might get some pushback for that too, honestly. I really do. I would like to put speed humps there. Not speed bumps, but speed humps. If we ever did that road and put those humps in, because those humps, I know, Jack, you probably don't like speed humps, but I don't like the speed bumps, but I like the speed humps. That place on Wintersville that has them?
Oh,
Yeah,
when it's like.
Those are speed humps.
This one on my street.
And, if you hit those hard enough and get airborne, then you hurt your car. But those would be nice, but, I don't think we'll be, paving that road anytime soon. We don't have the money at this point in time.
Personally, I think every four-way intersection should have a stop sign on all 4 corners. So right down there, I almost got clipped down there, there's 4 now down at the bottom of Western, the playground there.
Yeah.
There used to be 2, and I'm coming there, almost had 0. So we would have to put 2 more, I mean, you
Well-
can't take a chance, somebody's.
We can try, whatever you guys, if that's the consensus here that you want to put them up right now, then I'll tell them to get put up. Willie, I want you sitting by them out so you can get some money into this place. They won't know they're there and they'll just say, sorry about your luck.
I think the ones will be able to see real good. The one that's probably not be able to see is right there in front of Hermes probably.
Coming up.
Coming up.
There's a tree.
We could probably ask him if he has to on up or if we have.
I mean, it's got to jump in, like I said, I like the feedback from the residents up there to see what they think, but.
All right.
We'd have to get something typed up and drop it off at the houses and.
Yeah. Or just once, the weather's breaking now, you can maybe go back out and kind of take a walk up there just like we did previously, just catch someone out in your yard and say, hey, we're still talking about this, and we had another idea, I don't know what, some people might be like, hey, that would be fun, and other people are going to push back, so there's no way you're going to make everybody happy, but.
Well, we're talking about this kind of stuff. Is a business allowed going around to people's houses and leave flyers of their businesses on doors? I know they're not allowed to put them in mailboxes.
Not allowed to put them in mailbox.
No, I know, that's what I said. They're
Right.
not allowed to put them in mailbox. Like say I own a business.
Well, we
in
could,
Mingo.
if
Am I
you
allowed
wanted
to?
to put something, you'd like put it in their door, you could do that.
So Mingo business can actually go around and put like their menus or whatever they're selling in their business in
They
Mingo.
can't solicit it.
Huh?
They can't solicit, like, they can't knock on your door.
But you
It's like,
can put,
we've always had that problem, except for, I think, the charities can do it. They have to have a permit to solicit.
but they can't put like a flyer indoors
A flyer on your door, yeah.
if you're a business owner in Mingo.
Just like if you're a council person, I hung up.
Ernie,
Yeah, I've done that too, that's why I make the note.
If they're trying to solicit that, come out.
Before a business person asked me and I said I'd bring it up to the council, so.
The whole purpose of the permit was people it got annoying. You got people knocking on the doors, people running into the door, and there was some salesman. That's why you need a permit to do that. To just put a flyer on the door now.
You're okay?
I know, it's good to know.
Thank you.
Yo, Coach,
Jack?
under safety, I received a letter, but I don't know how I did it, but I lost it, from the other union,
Non-uniform.
non-uniform. They have certain people on their committee, their safety committee.
Yeah.
You get it? I don't know what I did with it.
I think we all got it.
Okay.
He brought it.
But anyhow, do we have any people on our side on that committee?
The quote safety committee, yeah, it's spelled out in the contract. it's, and I don't have a front from me, so I can tell you how many of each, from each thing. But there is a safety committee, and that has nothing to do with negotiations or anything like that. All that has to do with is they're supposed to periodically meet, discuss safety issues,
Schedule training, stuff like that.
training, hazardous, hazardous areas, things like that. And there are a certain number of councilmen and a certain number of employees, but I don't know the numbers yet.
I know it's three,
And I'm not sure.
three on both sides, I think.
Three.
Probably.
But I want to bring something up though. And I'm not on it, because I have no idea.
Zach and I are on.
Huh?
I know Zach and I are on.
They talk about safety, the training, okay? I talked to a guy today from Civil, and they had a leak up here the other day of chlorine. And one of their guys went in without the mask on, and went down.
Oh, I know you did.
But he's okay, but he just, I think we need some more training, we got the fire department to help them, to train them, to use these masks down there. We can't run these poor guys to death. There were 90 calls in 6 days. If they go leak down there, somebody got to take care of it besides the fire department all the time. But I think we need to, go back to the training again, and update those masks we got down there, and train these people on it.
I think we ought to have a mask at the pool too, that chlorine there too, actually.
That's sodium
That's
hypochlorite,
liquid
that's not
chlorine.
liquid chlorine, that's not gas chlorine.
That's not gas, it's liquid. But I just want to bring out to the safety committee, you guys can do what you want to with it, but that's,
We need to schedule a meeting
Right.
with that committee. You're the head of that this time, so.
Well, we can meet before, you want to meet before the next meeting, or is that too long? Mark,
I'm fine with it.
you okay with that?
Yep.
Adam? I'd like to have your 2 cents in on it. Jody Lynn?
No, wait, is this a safety meeting or is this their safety meeting? We need to schedule a safety meeting with those guys.
This is a meeting with the union. This
With
is
the
not council.
union, not
Oh,
the
with the
council.
union?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Keep it open.
This is,
I don't
like
think
you
it's
said,
all right.
I think that's right, I think it's 3 and 3.
Well,
And I think it was, I think George was the other one, so it would be.
well, yeah, George was.
I got
3 and 3?
And Mark was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're going to meet with police and fire, is that what we're
No,
going to
we're
do?
Now,
going
you're
to
the
do the
service department.
The service.
Well, the non-uniform, with about any problems they would have from a safety perspective. Hazardous areas, things like that.
How about next Monday?
I'm okay with that.
Mark, next Monday?
What time?
6:30,
We're not
Jody?
worried about the bridge collapse.
Yeah, now I'm working from home, so I
Okay,
can
so we're
meet
gonna- so we're
earlier
gonna
than
keep
that. I
it
can be
open,
down
right?
here by 5:30 if you want.
Oh,
We're going to keep it open, okay. All
say
right.
5:30 you can make it? Mark, 5:30 on Tuesday?
5:30 on Tuesday is good with me.
Okay.
Wait, Tuesday, the council meeting or next Tuesday?
No, next Tuesday, 16th.
Okay, I thought you said the 15th.
Ernie, did you read this?
I don't know what it is.
That's the set letter, I couldn't find one.
Oh, I don't know, I haven't seen it.
Well, I'm gonna give it to you.
The roads are going to remain open down there. The railroad's not going to bring any traffic across that bridge until it's inspected, but the road will remain open.
Safety service at 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30.
Kyle, will you get a hold of your people?
Yeah, I will.
Right. Three
And
officers.
then, do you want to have a regular safety meeting at the next council on the
Three working
23rd?
units,
Yeah, we can do that.
2 employees.
What
What
time?
time, 6:30?
So that's
6?
5:36, it doesn't
Three
matter.
council.
Okay.
Well, we'll be talking about
Yeah, I mean, if you
signs and that anyway. Want to go to 6?
That's fine.
Okay.
You know.
So that one's the before our council meeting at 6
Right.
o'clock on the 23rd.
Yep.
And then the week before that, we have a safety service committee
Thanks.
with Kyle and George Stoddard and.
Right. That's on the 16th,
5:30.
5:30.
Ours is at 6 PM the next week before council.
Okay, anybody else for safety? All right, service, Jody Lynn?
No, other than as far as buildings go, I just want to make sure that, and Glenn said that they were going to start getting out and going around some of these dilapidated properties.
Adam, nothing with street lights or anything?
No street lights, Jack?
I got one today, I put it in, we got one that we're gonna fix over on Sycamore, on Carr Street from Randy Crew.
Oh, okay.
He brought it up originally, I think it was one of the ones that were tagged to be disconnected, but I don't find it on the sheet of the lights I had before, so, I was talking with Vince, Fires, and, they should back, I'm gonna call Randy and we'll get out of here and see if we can fix it. Which that's the only two that I saw, if anyone else needed.
Jay,
Yeah.
they were fixing a light in Church Way, all the way at the end, right by my garage, before I came down here. They took it out and put a new one in on Church Way.
That's the one I put in this morning, so
It got done this afternoon.
good. I think the lady,
You got pulled, that's what happened.
yeah, some lady, I can't remember her name, she's the one that left the note down there, and I put it in today, so it must be bored.
After May State, they want to be out in the sun.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Jack, anything underwater and sewage?
Yeah, Mike, a couple of things. We had a water line break up the swimming pool, and it was up there digging it today. I just happened to go past, and they tried to put a clamp on it, and we didn't have one. So we called, I had somebody call Stillwater, because I know the boy up there. We called Jimmy Jenkins, who was a superintendent up there, and he actually brought the clamp down to us. And, you know, I think we should send a little thank you. We were going to replace the clamp, but, you know, the guy did bring the clamp down. He even jumped in the hole. You know.
Is that right?
He is a good guy.
Yep. And I think we should stick on this storage thing down, this Jefferson County thing.
I will find out.
If it's
tomorrow.
not working, we need to get it working and get it cleaned out.
I will find out tomorrow more on this.
Yeah. Okay. Recreation, Jack, anything?
Yeah, we had a meeting tonight. We are going to open the pool. Shelter houses for rent. We have 2 shelter houses this year for rent. They will be, already taking names for them. Contact Judy in the service department office for the shelter houses. Also, we've taken applications for lifeguards, concession stand workers, and grounds workers. And also, we need a manager to run the pool. You can see Judy Eddy. Check her office.
What's the hours of the office?
8 to 2.
8 to 2. Young man.
And that phone number is 535-1263.
And also, the last thing I have is the cemetery again. The 19th is deadline for this cemetery. I was up there today walking around it, you know, and there's a lot of expensive stuff still on graves. I mean, expensive stuff.
Okay. Anybody else got anything for Rick? Okay, if not, okay, Health and Pension Board. I don't have anything. Pat, you have anything? Mark, you got anything?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Senior Citizens.
I
Pat?
spoke with Fred. I told him I would get a hold of the ladies that were playing, that used to play cards down there, which I did do, but a couple of them are ill and a couple have operations. So I have to get back with Fred, and I'm not sure whether or not we're going to be back to play cards or too soon yet. But I did let him know that it is open and whenever we're ready, we can go play cards down there. I know he serves, I stopped down there, I know he serves coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does do that. I don't know when prime time's going to be open. I did call out there, they're not, you can pick up lunches if you order them, but they don't deliver. So I don't know when they'll be able, hopefully once we start opening up, they'll be bringing, the lunches like they used to.
Okay, thank you. Now, did you, or was there a VHJ meeting?
I did contact Mike Property and explained to him, that I was involved with the economic development and that I had talked to the mayor about the meeting that he said, I told him I would like to come, and they sent me a paper for the mayor to sign so that I can start going, because I'm not actually on the committee. And their next meeting is on the 17th, which I will be going.
Okay. Economic development, Jody Lynn, anything?
Yeah, we have a schedule.
We have to have a meeting, we need to sit down, guys, figure out tonight when you want to have a meeting.
That's you and
We have.
Pat, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what their schedules look like coming up. You said you have a meeting on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday, what about Monday? You have a meeting on Monday?
No.
How about Monday? Is that good for you guys?
Monday's up to me.
So you can go, you can have it down
The
here.
15th or the 22nd?
The 15th. 15th, at what time are you going to make it? 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's up to you guys.
Let's do 5:30.
5:30, okay. And we'll come down here.
Down here,
Yeah. Or
council chambers.
we could just have it upstairs at our council chambers, just again, the three of us.
All right, Pat, thank you. Okay, that's it.
Oh, that much. Let's go into executive session for negotiations.
And then we also want to go into executive session to discuss personnel.
Do what?
Executive session to discuss personnel as well.
Can't hear what she said.
To discuss personnel as well.
Personnel as well. I've been negotiations, I don't care what you.
Someone second it?
Wait.
Second, and Jody, Adam, second.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Okay, Jack and, Adam, you seconded
I did, yeah.
it? Okay. Okay.
You want to call me, please?
Okay, Cranwood, Fitzgerald, Parent,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Bertel,
Yes.
Peeler.
Yes.
Personnel.
You have to do it twice, because you have two different topics.
Sure, right? Yeah, you should.
We have to come out and then
First,
three.
come out and go back in.
To enter executive. For personnel.
That's your stuff? Adam?
For personnel.